Yeah, so I'm lying on the floor. Wanted to give a quick video about my thoughts on the whole R-Truth in the WWE title match, as well as the other title match for Extreme Rules, the world title ladder match. So here goes, I guess. I have a bad feeling. Well, I'm not sure if it's a bad feeling or whether it's just a weird feeling. About there being more to the R-Truth thing than meets the eye. R-Truth, I know this is WWE and they tend to forget about things, but wasn't R-Truth the same, the guy that was telling John Cena to quit when he was in Nexus? When he was forced to be in Nexus? Pretty sure it was. Pretty sure it was the same same R-Truth. Um, I understand why he's there to an extent. I mean, Morrison, they need a face to be in the match because otherwise it's going to look a little bit silly. I mean, you can't put a heel in there. Orton's already had a little feud with Miz. Morrison's had a feud with Miz and has got heat on him because of the whole Trish Stratus situation. Dolph Ziggler's obviously a heel, so you can't really push him. Daniel Bryan's just sort of lost to Sheamus, so you can't push him either. I think R-Truth is kind of, and as stupid as this sounds, R-Truth is kind of one of your only options. Unless you're going to push Triple H, and I don't think Triple H would be overly keen on doing a job to The Miz. I could see that happening down the line, but maybe not quite yet. Maybe next month or the month after, or maybe even SummerSlam if they keep the title on The Miz that long. I'm oh having talked about it previously in one of my videos from months ago. I said that they needed to turn they needed to turn the Miz face, or that they should turn the Miz face. I can't remember which one it was I said exactly, but I said something along the lines of WWE should turn the Miz face. Now that is the long-term plan, which is fair enough, despite the fact that he's probably the top heel right now. They don't have too many top faces, not believable faces. I mean, you've got uppercarders who are faces, and Morrison, and R-Truth, and Daniel Bryan, but you haven't got very many main event faces outside of Triple H, who is. I don't like Triple H as a face. Never liked Triple H as a face. Triple H is a natural heel. He looks like a heel. His wrestling style is that of a heel. He is a heel. John Cena, who's John Cena, and I really want him to turn heel. I'm not. I know I'm not the only one, but he just needs to turn heel. Orton, who again is a natural heel. Um, Undertaker, who is simply a face, not because of his character, but simply because of the fact that he's the Undertaker, and he's been there for 20 plus years. Um, I can't really think of any others, to be honest. Christian, he's again, I don't think of Christian as a main eventer, and the same with Rey Mysterio. I don't think of either of them as main eventers. I think of them as uppercarders, but not main eventers. They're not your big stars. I mean, Rey Mysterio gets the money in with the merchandising and shit, but he's not the sort of guy that you'd want to see main eventing every single pay per view. You wouldn't put the world title on Rey Mysterio for 4, 5, 6 months, would you? Stupid. I mean, if he goes through all those challenges, then how weak do they look? I mean, the guy's tiny. You can't sell Rey Mysterio as a believable champion. But before I get, because I always go off topic and in the tangent back onto the R-Truth thing. I can understand why they did it, and part of me just hopes that it's as simple as R-Truth is gonna do the job, and that'll be it. I don't want to see there be a double swerve or a turn or whatever you want to call it, and have like R-Truth turn on John Cena and uh, then start a feud, because I've seen enough of R-Truth. That's I honestly before this, I would have, there was obviously the annual talk of the post WrestleMania releases, and he would have been one of the people that I would have considered. I would have considered a potentially one of the guys to get the axe. But the fact that he's in a WWE title match now, the month after WrestleMania, says to me that they're not exactly thinking about getting rid of him anytime soon. So, there you go. As far as the world title match goes, I've seen SmackDown, so anybody who hasn't, spoiler alert. But Christian wins a battle royal. It's not a huge surprise, and takes Del Rio's place. The battle royal, I quite enjoyed the battle royal. Came down to the final four were Justin Gabriel, who eliminated Wade Barrett, which is interesting. I like the way they did that. And I like the fact that it was Gabriel that eliminated Barrett, because I think that pushes Gabriel a little bit. You had Gabriel, Mysterio, Swagger, and Christian. Ray eliminated Gabriel. Ray went for the 619 on Swagger, and Cole took it. Cole got the 619. Swagger eliminated Mysterio, and Christian eliminated Swagger to win. So it sets up a ladder match between Alberto Del Rio and Christian for the world title at Extreme Rules. So there's that. Bingo. We've got our world heavyweight title match, and it's not a huge surprise that Christian sort of just stepped in there. I'm not entirely sure what the point, why they didn't. I think they should have just had the world title match on SmackDown, and then had the ladder match. I wanted there to be a world champion coming out of SmackDown. I just think it makes more sense. It makes more sense, because then you can build them to the pay-per-view, and then you can build from they come off a win at a pay-per-view, and then you can build from there. If Del Rio had gone in and they'd had a battle royal or whatever, and Del Rio had won, and then that would have been all well and good, and then you could have had Del Rio versus Christian at the pay-per-view, and that would have been fine. I would have preferred that, because I would rather have had a champion go. I don't like going into pay-per-views when the title's vacant. I think that there should be a definitive champion going into pay-per-view title matches. That's just the way I feel. I don't like I said, I don't like vacant titles at pay-per-views. It feels like WWE's trying to they try and get that extra bit of hype, because you're guaranteed a new champion, when 9 times out of 10 you can probably guess who's going to win. I mean, I know a lot of people would think, well, Christian could win. Christian could win. He's in there for a reason. He's not in there because they want him to just lose the match. Because he's there because of the connection with Edge. He was there with the feud with Del Rio before. He's one of the top guys on SmackDown. But whether they'll put the world title on him, I don't think they will. He was in TNA. He held the TNA world title, and they've not put the WWE or world heavyweight title on anybody who has held the NWA or TNA world title in TNA. They put the ECW title on him, but what's the ECW title? I'm not sure Vince is entirely comfortable with somebody from another company, somebody who's held that top title with another company, coming in and holding the top title, one of the 2 top titles now. I say the 2 top titles. To be honest, I think the US title is a bit higher than the world heavyweight title at the minute. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the 2 main events Extreme Rules. Obviously, I expect the Miz to retain. The Miz, I really hope this Miz push continues, because they've committed to it now, and for it to end now would be stupid. I think they should at least keep the title on him until SummerSlam now. I don't like there being title changes at the smaller pay-per-views. I can understand when you're building towards something, like if you're building towards a SummerSlam match, or you're building towards a WrestleMania match or something. But other than that, I think the title should only change hands at the bigger pay-per-views, or that's just the way I feel. But yeah, do rate, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. And I'm out.